As runners, we all challenge ourselves in ways we never thought possible, pushing the boundaries of what we're capable of to smash through targets and set ourselves new, bigger and better ones.
This awesome hobby that we share gives us one thing in common, and it brings us together as a community. Whether you're working towards completing your first parkrun or you're a veteran of the sport who's run 100 ultra marathons, we all know the feeling of reaching that maxed out effort and our own red line.
Welcome to our podcast, where your hosts Brett Elsmore and Andy Maguire discuss the struggles, the successes and everything in between on our running journeys, as we all work towards the next time we're running the red line. Hello and welcome to episode 84 of Running the Red Line. I am your host, Brett. We are back and I am joined, as always, by the freshly inducted member of the V40 Club and New Age Cat, and the guy who will no longer tell you his half marathon PB in 1 hour something. He will use double digits and tell you the minutes. The 89-minute half marathon runner, Andy. How are you this week, mate?
I'm officially smug for life now. 89, mate. 89. Not 129. No, 89. I was going to correct you on that one. It's 89.10. Yeah, I'm doing okay. Or should I say, bonjour, ça va?
Ah, yes. How was the break?
It was so good. It was such a good trip. Laura and I were saying this today, actually. We can't believe that everything went so well. There were no incidents. In fact, there was. I crashed the car in a car park.
Oh, what?
No, I didn't really. I scraped the side of the van. The car parks in France, I think the biggest car park I saw was about the size of a tennis court. And there's about 800 spaces in it. Trying to get maneuver a van through some of those car parks was absolutely ridiculous. So one time I was taking this corner and I just didn't take it wide enough. It was one of them where I'm going down, I'm taking a hard 90-degree left as it goes downhill to the next floor down. I just heard the dreaded scrape on the side. And I felt like how Captain Smith must have felt on the Titanic when he caught the side of that giant. And it just, it was just the worst feeling. I was just like, I'm so annoyed at myself. Because I really wanted to blame someone. I was like, why didn't you tell me the wall was there?
Has he done much damage?
No, it's only cosmetic, so... And funnily enough, we're thinking about getting some sort of wrap or some sort of pattern done along the bottom of the passenger side door. So we were thinking of sort of
go faster
taping
stripes.
over it. Go faster stripes, exactly. So,
or are you going to make it look like
Porsche engineering,
Fast and the Furious?
Yeah. No, we've seen. I tell you what, we did see. We did see on the road some people that have really pimped up their vans, and some vans look really mega cool. I mean, we might just get something generic and a little bit same as everyone else, with like the mural of a mountain or some trees and forest, that sort of thing that runs alongside the bottom of the van.
As long as you don't have One Life, Live It on the back, I'll let you off.
Yeah, or Live, Laugh, Love. I might get that. Yeah. So yeah, but apart from that, it was pretty damn good. Highlights were probably the south of France. That was pretty mega. I drove on the F1 circuit in Monaco.
You did, yes. Amazing.
So that was pretty cool. And you'll like this. Listeners of the Running the Red Line podcast will like this. I overtook someone on the route, but it was in a sort of like in a hotel waiting area. But it still counts.
You didn't overtake.
I did it and I immediately regretted it because I did that thing when I was like, are they parked? No. I think they're dropping someone off, and I overtook them, and they were letting a bus out, and I thought, oh God, what do I look like? But well, it wasn't a bus. It was like a hard U-turn, like a one-way system, and this van that was the size of ours was in front, and I assumed they were dropping people off, but they weren't. And I went round the side of them and then went round, and I was like, oh, sorry, my bad. But apart from that, yeah, it was pretty damn awesome. The climate, mate, I can see why Attenborough's always on about those birds that are migrating south, because we went down to the south of France and it was like 26 degrees, and I'm like, oh, and it was like beautiful blue skies, and it was just like, I've never been to Hollywood, but the south of France, in that little few square miles of Cannes and Monte Carlo, it feels like the big palm trees, and it just feels like Hollywood. And I can totally see why people get carried away and spending money and living that lifestyle out there, because it makes you feel good living down there.
Yeah.
We didn't want to come home.
Well, yeah, you see like clips of the Cannes Film Festival and stuff, and where it's like the second Hollywood, isn't it? It is like that. But
in Cannes, we were like walking past Gucci and all these designer shops, and we even looked up. We did that thing that, you always do when you go somewhere and you see an estate agent's window, and we looked at all the properties for sale.
Yeah.
One of them was like 25-30 million, and it was like a 2-bedroom flat. Well, obviously it wasn't. It was a big mansion with a swimming pool with a view of the Mediterranean. But the most affordable one in the window was about 7 million in this estate agency. And one thing I loved as well. So we went for coffee in Cannes. We got there, the only thing we could afford, and we went to this bar, had a coffee and a croissant. That was about €28. And there was a guy who just was like, yeah, table for one, please. I don't know, in his sort of 40s, 50s. He's wearing some like linen trousers and some like white unbuttoned shirt. And he sat down, he had a coffee and a cigar. and I was like, this is proper like French Hollywood. This is brilliant. And it was just stank of cigar smoke, but I was like, no, this is brilliant. You don't see cigars anymore.
No.
And I was like, this guy has just sailed in on his yacht.
Proper big Havana cigar as well.
Yeah, it's a big chunky one.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. Rolled on the thighs of a virgin. But it was just a different world, and it was so much fun. And we managed to cram in so many miles. I think we did just over 3,000 miles in the end.
Oh wow.
That's start to finish.
That's a road trip and a half, isn't it?
So, but yeah, a lot of fun. We already can't wait to get something booked and do something similar again. Yeah.
Well, I watched your first French training video, which was less about the training and more about the French holiday. Which, mate, you made it look incredible. What was the place where you went to and you were like? We've just looked around, and it's a mix between, what did you say? Mix between Point Break and what was the other one?
Made in Chelsea.
Made in Chelsea, yeah. And you were like, I'm not even sure we can afford lunch here. We're going to have to go and cook at the van.
Well, that's what we did. We had a crepe at that place, because that, again, was the only thing we could afford on the menu. And that was £5. I'm like, this is just a little batter mix with some sugar on it. €5, are you sure? And that place was called Biarritz, and that was absolutely stunning. That was down in the southwest of France, near the Spanish coast, near the Spanish border, and that was right on the Atlantic, and that's surf paradise. So I was expecting, I was going to try and recreate and just fire my gun, get down on my knees once I realised I'd let Patrick Swayze out of my clutches and start firing around into the sky. But I didn't get to do that, unfortunately. Laura had been like, what are you doing? But no, that was a particularly nice place as well. That was called Biarritz.
Yeah. Nice. What
Yeah.
what was the one you were driving through as well? It was like, it don't really look like the pictures.
Oh, that was Rennes in Brittany.
But
Yeah.
when you got there, that looked beautiful as well. Just
Yeah.
everything looks beautiful.
I'll be honest, it kind of made me a little bit like, I've probably given France, and I shouldn't really say this, my brother-in-law's French, but I've probably given France not quite the credit that it deserves, thinking, well, I'm English. We've got all the history. Nobody's older than us. Nobody does medieval cities more than us. But I feel like saying, I don't know what the French would think if they went to Middlesbrough. No offense, people from Middlesbrough. But like,
Yeah.
everywhere we went, there was like thousands of years of history, and there was just medieval buildings everywhere. I mean, of course, there's going to be some horrible places in France, like as just as many as the nice places we saw. But
Yeah.
everywhere we seemed to go, it was just steeped in history. And Rennes didn't look like the photos, until we got into the city centre. But that's it, isn't it? Anywhere looks impressive as a tourist in the city centre.
Exactly.
And just go out a little bit and you see the real city, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's
definitely.
not quite so postcard friendly.
Yeah. Tell us about that big sand dune though, because that just looked incredible, and the footage of you running barefoot through that was quite impressive.
That was my River 7 pedicure. That was exactly what I needed to do.
I did see that on the video, and the first thought in my head was, the poor people who are going to have to go on that dune after you.
I'm shedding my skin in exactly like a foot shape, like a snake. Yeah, there's probably about 7 or 8 exactly like carved out foot shapes of my feet.
Claw shapes.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have toes anymore. But no, that was called the Dune de Pilat, and that was sort of the closest place you'd probably know would be Bordeaux, and that's in that area. It was on the Atlantic Ocean. And what's cool about that is, I don't know the geography and the reason why and the science behind it, but that particular area has had so much. The sand dune has grown and grown and grown that now it's starting to engulf the forest that it's next to.
Oh, wow.
So in 100 years time, the car park will just be a sand dune, because apparently it's moving between 1 and 5 meters a year, which is quite a lot, really.
Yeah, that is.
It's probably more than like a glacier would move, or I don't know, that sort of thing. So that was cool. But the good thing about it is because we went out of season and we went at sunrise as well. And that's the number one piece of advice I would have for anyone, is if you're going to do anything as a tourist, do it before the tourists arrive. Because as we were coming down, that's when the coach trips were starting to arrive. And if you think anything is worth it, if you get lucky and the sun is out, you'll get a beautiful sunrise. Everything looks better at sunrise. And we got to the top of this dune, and it was just Laura, me and Daisy on this massive, 30-mile long sand dune. It was amazing. But we were coming down, and then the school trips are starting to turn up and all that. And every year they have to rebuild the staircase. I don't know how they do it. I'd love to see how they do it. But there's a 100-meter high staircase you have to climb. And I don't know how they do it, but each season they bring it forward because it's starting to get buried beneath the sand. Mm-hmm. So each winter they reposition it, and it's fascinating. But that was a really cool.
That looked incredible.
Yeah, and what was really interesting was, if you look to one side, you'd get the sea, and you look the other side in towards sort of mainland France, and normally you'd see this beautiful forest. But they had 2 or 3 years ago a really bad wildfire. And again, you think, you only see that in the news in the States or in California. But apparently it happens quite often in France. And it was just really, really bad.
Was it on Laura's story where she put it on and you could see the burnt forest where the wildfires had got to, and it had got quite close to where people were living and stuff?
Yeah, like our campsite in another place. Have you heard of the red wine called Corbière? Mm-hmm. I don't know if you've heard of that. That's where we stayed a few days after the dune. And we were told by the owner that if we'd have come, 4 weeks earlier, the camp was completely closed because the campsite missed out by 800 meters a wildfire that swept through the valley in like a dead straight line. And it was literally as cutthroat as that, because you look at it like, I guess if you looked at it from a drone, you'd just see this line of like black where the dead trees are. Then either side, everything else that it didn't touch. It was crazy. So I saw some video footage of it. And when the wind is blowing in that direction, it goes so fast. And what they had on sale as well, these bottles of wine which we bought and drank. And they said they're selling it on behalf of their friends who had a vineyard in this area, and they lost everything. And when the fire just kills everything, so the vines that they rely on for their livelihood, it's not just one harvest they've lost, it's the entire plant, it's the entire vine. And it's not just one vine, it's like, I don't know, 200,000 hectares or whatever it's called of vineyard, and so they've lost everything. So they've now got to replant that. So they can't even make a bottle of wine again for like 10 years. And so they were selling it on behalf of their friends. So it's really bad. Like these wildfires are. We're quite lucky in this country, I think, where we are, that our climate isn't as extreme as others.
Yeah.
Because in France, it is quite extreme. Because I thought it was extreme in October when I was wearing a singlet and short shorts to do me run in 21 degrees. So what it must be like in July and August, it must be like... And you know what is the killer as well? You can bet your life it was started by someone throwing a cigarette out the window.
Oh, probably, yeah.
Everybody, that's what I like. I've got respect for the French because nobody vapes over there. Everyone smokes.
I've got respect for them
because I'm a big fan of that. If you're going to smoke, smoke.
Okay.
Don't vape. You look stupid. Put it down. Just smoke or don't smoke. But in France, everybody smokes. It's like a rite of passage. And the lady behind the counter said it's likely that it was started by a cigarette because when they don't get any rain for months on end.
Yeah, and everything's dry, it'll just go straight up, yeah. The
forest, honestly, when I ran through this forest, and it's been 3-4 months since the fire, it was dry like last week. So what it must have been like, when in the 40-degree heat that they get, it must have been really dry. But it was wicked. In the next video that I'm about to release, that's the place I'm talking about at the moment. I think video number 2, part 2, is even better because I got the drone out. And I got some footage of me running through this forest, which looks pretty cool. Went to the south of France in the next video, which was really good as well. And you see me drive around, through the F1 circuit. And then we go to Bruges. We made our way to Bruges.
Yes.
And so the climate was crazy because we drove out of England in the cold weather, the drizzle, down to the south where it was like this Mediterranean climate is just beautiful, and then back up to Bruges, which is basically like Bromsgrove weather, which is basically like it's just drizzle. But that's the Bruges that you want to see. You want to see if it's sunny, it doesn't look like Bruges. You need to see it when it's a bit murky and a bit moody.
Yeah,
but
and
Bruges.
I did like the fact that you did your race. And then the next thing that came up on either yours or Laura's Instagram was you sat outside a cafe with a yard of ale.
Yeah, it had to be done. It had to be done. Yeah, I had to have a quack. That's what that's called. And that's that was the beer that I had a few years ago where you had to give your shoe to the bartender as a deposit. Mm-hmm. But this bar, they'll only serve it to you. But it's like, it comes, when like a spaceship takes off and it's got a gantry attached to it, that's how it gets served to you. It gets served in a wooden gantry. So there is no way you're sticking that in your bag because it's too big and everyone will know. And it's €16 as well for that. And that was, but it's worth it though. It's the sort of place where you think I've got this nice view and I've run a good... it's like when we had them €5 crepes. It's like, we've got a view of the ocean. And This isn't like having pancakes in February and pancake day at home. This is like
exactly.
we're sat next to the Atlantic Ocean here, and you know, it just feels like a good time to spend. To be overpriced, to be overcharged on something you don't really care, because you know that it's an experience more than a. You could be really tight about it and complain, but where's that going to get you? Everyone sat in that square is paying the same, so you're all gonna. If you want that thing, then you have to pay for that thing.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. And talking about expensive and wanting that thing and paying for that thing, €40 for a McDonald's.
Unbelievable. There's no pound saver menu, no euro saver.
But they did serve chips, which are potatoes.
They did. It blew my mind that you can buy potatoes. So that was
statement when you said that in the video was brilliant. They sell chips, which are made from potatoes.
Yeah. I realised how it sounded when I said it. But on the menu it said, I think it's because it's in English translation rather than whatever it's actually called in French. But I think they were just called potato wedges, and they called them something exotic. I was like, yeah, come on, we'll have them. They were about €9. But I couldn't believe it. A double Chezo, €6, £5.50.
What?
It's not £2 like it is here. £2.50 what it is here. No, double cheeseburger is about £6. I think it was £6.50 or €7, something like that.
That's crazy.
Medium fries, £3.50, €4. A coffee, which was awful, by the way. That was terrible. So we thought, right, globalization, how different is the coffee beans? It's going to be the same stuff. Because I rate McDonald's coffee in this country. I think it's all right.
Do you know what? McDonald's coffee has got no right to be as good as it is.
I agree. I think it's pretty good. But the stuff we drank in France was terrible. And it wasn't the milk either, which was equally awful. It was, and Chloe, I'm so sorry if you're listening. I'm just completely slagging off France here. Love France. South of France, brilliant. Shame about the milk. But the cappuccinos were just so different. I'm such a whinger on. I'm such a moaner, but I can't help it.
Just on that point, I have got something written down that I do want to pull you up on, which actually goes back through quite a few of your videos. It featured heavily in your River 7 videos. And then it also happened again in your French video. So I was going to say it could be it could be one of the reasons that the milk was so bad in France. But you also did it when you were running the River 7. So it can't be that reason. But you have a tendency to misgender cows.
Hey?
Because you constantly say, all right, lads, how you doing? These boys. But all cows are female.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose you're right.
Only bulls are male. Every cow you see is a female.
So... Oh, yeah.
Because you drink cow's milk. And to make milk, they have to be female.
But... I suppose let's not go down that road. I was going to say, what happens to the male cows then? But
the good ones are saved, and they become bulls to continue the amount of cows there is to make milk and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
don't know if I'd rather be born a female cow or a male cow. It's not a good ending, is it?
It's not either way.
If you're a female cow, you're just pregnant all the time, but fake pregnant, so you keep producing milk for the rest of your life. If you're a male cow, you've got a life expectancy of about 2 weeks.
Unless you're big and strong, and then you're there to carry on the cows.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's not great, is it?
But anyway, you have a tendency to misgender them constantly.
It's 2025 as well. I shouldn't be doing that. They're not non-binary cows. Non-cownery. Yeah, okay, maybe I've done that. I always just do have a tendency to see cows and say, "All right, lads." I do that with sheep as well, which I assume is the same.
Yeah, because male sheep are rams.
Yeah. Sorry to any cows that are listening, male or female. So I'm very sorry.
It's a bit like if you said it to chickens as well.
No, I know the difference between them because it's not the hens that are waking you up at 4 a.m, is it?
Very true.
Yeah, the old cockadoodlers. But yes. So I would say, all in all, I had a very, very good trip, and yeah, really, really, really good. It's amazing how much confidence you get in a quick space of time, because when we were getting off the Channel Tunnel, I was like really worried. Oh no, it wasn't even me, because Laura was driving. Because honestly, I get so stressed that I just can't drive. I say to Laura, I know that makes me sound how it sounds, but I say, Laura, I cannot do this. I can't. I literally will lose my mind. So I get so flustered. So I basically had to do the decent thing and let her go first,
and be a backseat driver and tell her how to drive.
Oh God, I must have been the worst passenger. But it was my birthday. But basically, what we did was she drove. She broke the van in. She basically did the first 2 days of driving. Then I did the rest. She said she wasn't very well, but then miraculously. Well, not miraculously. Strangely enough, she didn't actually make a recovery from her illness, so she couldn't do any more further driving. So I had to do the rest of it. But it's funny that as soon as you take your first roundabout or you do your first left turn across traffic, you think, oh, it's just the same as being back home.
Yeah.
But it's just the opposit.
It is weird at first, though, isn't it? Going round a roundabout the wrong way is bizarre.
Yeah. Now, I don't want to get... Okay, we're just going to slag the French off. Let's go again. Right. The rules. If I'm driving down, let's just say a 30-mile-an-hour road, a 50k road, you've got to give way at a crossroads. So let's just say there's a right, there's like a T-junction, but you're like on a 30-mile-an-hour road. You've got to stop to let that car go who's coming out to turn right or left. Even if you've been pelting it up the road, you've got to stop to let them go.
Is there a stop sign on your road, though?
No. Sometimes no. Sometimes when there is, you get a stop sign. Other times, you just have to give way to your left first, because that's where the traffic will be coming from. No, I said it wrong, didn't I? It's give way to your left. Give way to your left, because the traffic will be coming from there. So you just have to be prepared to just stop, which makes no sense to me, because how does that aid the flow of traffic? You're constantly slowing down to let people come onto the main road.
That's weird.
And as well, one last one. Okay, French people don't say thank you, and that drives me mental. I said thank you to someone, and they looked at me as if I'd like.
Don't swear at me.
Yeah, as if I just said thank you to them. The best one was this, right? We were driving through a place called Provence. Provence is famous for lavender, rows of this amazing purple flower that's near the Mediterranean. We were driving through this endless amounts of like country lanes, and all of a sudden, DPD driver coming towards me on like a single track road. There's barely enough space for one of us, let alone both of us. So he pulls over and lets me sort of crawl through. I said thank you to him, and he still had a go at me. I just think it's like he pulled over and instantly regretted it. He thought, no, hang on, you should be pulling over for me.
Yeah.
So I just thought, and he honked me after he'd driven past. And I saw him, being really animated. I was like, hang on, mate, you were the one that waved me forward. So I was like, he's either bipolar or that's just how they do it around here. Or just angry drivers. And but yeah, no one says thank you. No one lets you in. If you're indicating, I got honked a few times, but I just owned it. I was like, cheers, mate.
Yeah.
If you're on a dual carriageway and you want to overtake someone and someone's coming up quite quickly behind you, they will not let you go. Like,
no,
that is your problem that you are indicating left and you've got to wait. Nobody, I don't think I got let out once on the dual carriageway or the motorway. And in a way, that kind of makes things easier, because sometimes when we let people out, that's when accidents can happen, I suppose. But it's just a culture thing. It's really, really different to the way we all drive. Whether it's better and safer, I don't know. But it's just something to get used to. That if you say thank you to someone, like a perfect example, right? You know, when you're on driving through a town and you get the big white arrow, that means you've got priority over the other way.
Yeah.
So you've got the other people waiting. Us being British, we say thank you, even though that person has to wait. We just say thank you. And they look at you like, what did I do something wrong? Why did you just say thank you to me?
Yeah.
So
I've
got one more in a minute. I've got one more. Go on.
The amount of cobbled streets like that you drive down in France is crazy as well. I remember when
is this a road? Is this a road?
Yeah, we went to well, we've been a couple of times, but we went to a Volkswagen show in Belgium, and obviously got to drive through France, and we got lost. And ended up going around this French town several times, just trying to find out where we were. And one of the roads we had to keep on going down was this really bad cobbly road. And my car, I've got less than an inch clearance underneath my car because it's lowered. And just the whole of the cobbled road, every time we went down, it was just bang, 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 bang. Oh. And I was absolutely screaming at the people who were leading us and trying to get us out of this town. By the end of it, we just had to stop halfway through and just laugh about it, because if we didn't laugh, we'd be crying. Yeah. But it was crazy, the amount of cobbles, and I was just hitting every single one of them. But the funniest part of being lost in that French town, which to this day makes me laugh every time I think about it. One of our mates, he wasn't the most confident of driving in France and didn't know where he was. And we got to this one bit, and there was a junction where you could either go right or carry on straight. And a couple in front of him went right, but he wasn't sure whether he needed to go straight or right. And in between a junction, there's like a triangle bit that's just like white stripes. He parked on that bit, panicking because he panicked, just head like facing like the barrier, so he couldn't go anywhere. And there was cars going either way behind him, and we did a full loop of the town. And when we came back, he was still stuck there because he couldn't get back out. Brilliant. It was hilarious.
Oh God, that's good. But yeah, you do panicky things, don't you? Sometimes you're like, I just need to get off the road. I need to get out of this situation. Then you put yourself in an even worse one. But what was your last one? The last one was, again, this might have just been the people I ran past on the day or on the days. But runners are not. It's not normal to say hello to your fellow runner. I felt like I was running past a load of cyclists. Maybe
I was going to say, it's the French in them, because Tour de France is so big. It's the French in them. They don't want to say hello.
One guy, right? I don't know if I wrote this on my Strava or not. It was my last run before Bruges. I was doing an easy run, and I came to. I was on this path. There's like a rugby ball shape, both paths leaded to the same place. And one guy who was sort of running at a similar pace to me ran outside, and we had like a coming together, and I just stopped and I gestured to say, yeah, you go ahead. He just completely blanked me, and he didn't say hello or thank you or anything. And that's an offence in my eyes. So my easy run turned into a mile-long interval at the end. So I did a half marathon pace to overtake him.
You should have.
And I'm glad I did.
You should have just ran up and sat on his shoulder. just for the whole of the rest of the run, just sat right behind him on your shoulder.
I know.
Or ran up next to him and held his hand and ran alongside him.
That would be weird, but something I could probably do. But yeah, that was a big win for me that day.
Brilliant.
But, so I just thought, I'll just do an easy run, and then that happened, and then no, red mist. I was like, I'm going for this.
Brilliant.
So that was 10k, but a mile of race pace.
Yeah,
but,
brilliant. So,
but
tell
yes,
us about
that. I was going to say that sounded like I've just had a full-on half an hour rant about the French. I love the French. I love France. I just think our culture's a little bit different, and I'm maybe not the most ready to take and embrace French culture just yet. I'm too immature.
It might be because the French hate the British. That might be why.
Yeah, I think that's probably why. Yeah.
But what was I going to say? Tell us about your training whilst you were over there. What was the training like?
So it was a bit of a let's just run when we can. I was conscious to not be away from Laura and Daisy too long. A, because I didn't want to miss anything fun, and B, it's just not really fair to be gone for hours of the day, because it's Laura's holiday as well. So the general rule was run when we've either got nothing to do or when it's early in the morning. So the first couple of runs I did, I took Daisy with me, and then we quickly realised that Daisy was just she was just shattered mentally. She was just like the tiredest I've ever seen her. And it was getting hotter as we were getting into the holiday. So I decided not to run with her again until the very end, till we got back to Bruges. And I did, nothing longer than 10 or 12k, so 6 or 7 miles. But my favourite run out of the lot of them was one I put on my next video that I haven't showed yet, which was a run through the forest. This forest had been half destroyed by the fire. Just downloaded a GPX file. Oh, I tell you what, came an absolute revelation to me. Strava heat maps. Absolutely brilliant, because I can literally recce a route in 3D as well. So I can see where the hills were, and I can see what the track looked like, and that sort of thing. So that really helped me create routes and stuff. A couple of times I downloaded it on my watch. A couple of times I just did out and backs, because you always know where you are with an out and back. But yeah, my favourite one was this run I did through the forest, because that was just felt really wild and really, just in the sunny south of France. And it was a Saturday morning. I think it was your first run back. It was that day. And I was like, right, I know everyone's going to be out there doing their own parkrun, so I can't not do a Saturday morning run when I'm in this really amazing place. So yeah, I just did this really cool forest run. The week before Bruges, I did this run in the mountains, like on the side of the lake, in a place called Annecy, which was amazing. And I got a really good run in as well within the first week, which was like it was flat. I did a progression run, and what I wanted to do was go up and then come back down, but I went up and I just didn't stop. So I started at like an easy pace, and then I got to like sort of steady or half marathon or marathon pace, and I kept going, and I got all the way down to 5k pace, and I managed to pull it off. And I was like, because when you're stubbornly doing a progression run, you will finish that progression run, even if that means that you're like on the verge of like passing out. But you cannot have a missing stair in your staircase. Yeah, you have to keep progressing. So I did this really, really good progression run, and I got up to 5k pace. And we'd seen this Dutch couple, by the way, saw more Dutch people in France than French people. They are big travellers and brilliant people as well. Absolutely love the Dutch. And saw this Dutch couple we've been chatting to, a couple of hours earlier, and I saw them in my last K, and I just like couldn't breathe. I was like, hi, hello, hi. And they were probably like, what are you doing? It's 24 degrees. Why are you running now? But yeah, so I just took the runs when I could, mainly in the mornings. And yeah, I think I did on my middle week, or on the one whole week we did, let's just call it week 7 of 8. I did week 7. I managed to do 50k, so 30 miles. And then week 8, I did one 10K and then one 5K as a shakeout in Bruges. So, yeah, I managed to run almost every other day, apart from the last week where I just took it easy.
Nice.
It was wicked. Yeah, it was really, really good.
Well, in a really good segue, which you have just set up, is how do you feel that in like a couple of weeks on November the 1st, you might not be able to use Strava heat maps?
I know.
Being a Garmin user.
I've written this down. So you might need to educate me on this, because this all happened when I was away.
Yeah.
And I've seen that one is suing the other. And I think Strava is suing Garmin.
So Strava is suing Garmin. And I don't know if this is like right or not, but I think it might be a counter thing. So Garmin have done something and Strava have retaliated by suing Garmin. I don't know whether Garmin were trying to sue Strava for something, or Strava have sued and Garmin were trying to do something. But basically, it's a bit of retaliation. And Strava are suing Garmin for stealing their idea, or using without permission their idea of heat maps and something else as well, another feature on Strava. And
Segments.
Segments, that's it, segments. And Garmin have come back and said, well, we've had heat maps since about 2008 or something like that. So, it's a bit bad there. But they're also retaliating because Garmin have said to Strava that they want Garmin want their logo on all Strava stuff which has got data from Garmin. So if you use Strava and you use a Garmin want all of those posts that you put on Strava to have Garmin's logo on. And Strava have said that is free advertising and you're trying to force it on us and we don't agree. So no thanks. And it's all coming to a bit of a head. So basically, because Strava haven't agreed, Garmin have said, okay, you can no longer use our data from the 1st of November.
Yeah, I mean, I did read in a forum that surely this is going to have to come to a peaceful head, because I feel like it's a lose-lose for both of them.
Yeah, I do as well.
I feel like they're both biting. What is it? Biting their nose to spite their face.
Yes.
Like there's no good outcome here, because I'd say Garmin have maybe got more Strava. I'd say there's more Garmin users than anything else on Strava.
Most likely, if you tot up all the cyclists that use it as well.
Yeah.
Most likely, yeah.
And what's to stop Garmin then making their own Strava and then trying to get everyone else to come over?
That's what people are saying, that if it happens, they'll probably take half of their user thing and they'll migrate to something else. But I think that would be awful, because the whole point of Strava is that you connect with everyone, not just the people who use the same equipment as you.
And it's like a third party. It's like it's a social media, isn't it?
Well, this is the thing. This is what I've been saying. I don't agree with Garmin at all that they want their logo on everything, because Strava's social media. Yes, it does have all your running data and everything on it, but really it's a social media platform for runners and cyclists to say, this is what I've done, and connect with other people and give kudos and comment on people's runs and stuff. It's basically Instagram for runners, isn't it? So rather than sharing pictures, you share your runs. So does that mean if Garmin expect all of their data to have their logo on, does that mean that Canon can ask Instagram that all photos taken on a Canon camera have to have the Canon logo on the post, or iPhone has to have shot on iPhone on every photo? No, it's ridiculous. So I can see where they're coming from, that they're saying you're making your money off using our data that we're providing you for free. so we want something in return. But at the same time, that is the nature of social media.
Garmin have probably just got sour grapes that no one uses Garmin Connect.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is. Yeah, like Garmin has got its own, like I think I've got like 4 followers or something like that. And I didn't even know you could follow people on Garmin, but you can.
Yeah.
But like, they're probably just got sour grapes that they haven't produced a good enough social media to keep Garmin users going to Strava.
Yes. Yeah.
But I mean, do you pay for Strava? Because I do.
Yes. Yeah.
I tried to not pay for it, and within about a week, I just thought, no, I don't like the free version of this.
Yeah, I want all the extra bits. Yeah.
Like I like the training log, and you can look back on any run you've done.
Yeah,
and you can do all this on Garmin, I know, but like,
and I like being able to go onto other people's runs and seeing their splits and seeing their training and what they've been doing. Whereas on the free one, you can't see any of that.
Really?
Yeah. So if you don't pay, even if someone does pay and they put all their data on there, because when you don't pay, you can't see your own either, all your splits and everything. But yeah, when you pay, you can see other people who pay all their splits in their run. So I could go to your Bruges Half Marathon and see what you ran for each mile and each K and everything, but I wouldn't be able to do that if I didn't pay.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, hopefully they can come to some sort of agreement where it turns out that nothing's going to change.
Yeah.
Because I want to know which watch to buy next. Because I'm not buying another Garmin if that's the case, because I do like my Strava.
Yeah.
So
see, this is the thing. Like loads of people have been like putting up posts and everything and saying, Strava, you're getting this wrong. You need to sort yourself out. But at the same time, Garmin are just as bad. And if you're a Garmin fanboy, you could probably see that it's Strava that's at fault. But at the same time, if somebody said to you, hang on a minute, your whole like business model now needs to change because you need to put our logo on everything. And if you don't do it, we won't let you use our data. You're not going to just go, oh, yes, please, I'll roll over, tickle my belly, and you can have whatever you want. You're going to go, hang on a minute, no. We've been doing it for how many years without having to do that? Why should I suddenly have to change our whole business model just for you?
Yeah.
Because you want to stroke your ego and have your logo everywhere.
Did you have Strava, for London Marathon, the first ever one, or is it something you recently?
So I joined Strava when I started cycling, and because it was never really big. Yeah, it was never really big for runners back when it first started. It was for cyclists. So when I started cycling, when I was training for, I did the Ride London 100-mile ride in 2015, I think it was. So I got Strava for the training for that. And then when I started using it for that, I then started using it for the running as well. But the running had half as many features as the cycling. And it's only slowly over the last 10 years that they've introduced more and more running features.
Like the data and there was no segments back in the day.
Yeah, there was for cycling, but there wasn't for running.
For running, yeah.
So and like you could be king of the mountain, and that was what it was. Whereas now there's king of the mountains for cycling segments, and then there's what is it? CR course record for the running segments. Whereas all of them used to be king of the mountain.
Right, okay.
And Queen of the Mountain, obviously. But I joined Strava back in like 2015.
Did you? Well, I used to be pre-2020, before I sort of joined Strava. I used to have, I think it's called the Nike Run Club app.
Yes.
Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Nike Run Club?
Yeah.
And that was the same sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But I used to record on my phone.
Yeah.
and it would tell me a basic pace and how long you've run for in a distance. And that's all I needed because I didn't know you could follow other people. I didn't know anything about that.
Yeah, well, when I was training for 2012 London Marathon,
No.
What?
You had Nike Run Club?
No, I didn't. So I could have, because it was part of the iPhone package. So iPhone and all of that lot are in collaboration with Nike, aren't they? So you can buy a Nike Apple Watch with a Nike strap and the Nike Run Club app built into the Apple Watch and all that lot. Yeah. So I could have had Nike Run Club, but guess what I had instead?
I don't know. Don't know what to guess.
I had the Adidas running app.
I'm such an idiot. I'm such a fool. Of course.
Yeah.
I've forgotten who I was talking to.
Yeah. So I had the Adidas version, which basically I just had my phone with me for every run, and that tracked all my runs because the watch I had back then was an I had a Casio at some point, just a normal Casio, which was just a stopwatch. And then I also had an Adidas watch, which was like a G-Shock watch, but Adidas branded, which was just like a stopwatch again.
Do you know what the origin of the word Strava is? Because it sounds sort of loosely, I don't know, Russian or something, doesn't it? Strava. I don't even know what it means or where it's from or what country it originated in.
Well, it's American, isn't it, Strava?
Oh, is it?
Yeah. But I'm going to do a search for what Strava, where the name Strava came from. Where did Strava get its name? It means to strive in Swedish.
Ah, cool. Right, that makes sense.
Because okay, is the one of the so one of the co-founders is Michael Horvath. So do we think he's Swedish?
Sounds like he could be.
And the other one American, because the other one is Mark Gainey, which does sound more American, doesn't it? So
yeah.
But anyway, it means to strive in Swedish, which is pretty cool.
Very interesting. Every day's a school day. Well, speaking of Strava, we have noticed over the last few weeks some rather big results on Strava from people that have done various races across the country and even the world.
Yes.
So shall we start with a few, where do you want to start? A few races that we've
should we go for the shorter races first and build up to the longer ones? So first off, Ulster 10K was a couple of weeks ago, and I went down and watched Ulster 10K. I was very tempted, wasn't I, to try and do that as my first run back, but you told me very sensibly to not be so stupid, and there was no chance I was ever going to walk a race.
No.
So I stayed away from running Ulster 10K, but there was a lot of people there. A load of the B&R club were there racing. Some of the Worcester club were running as well, loads of Stratford. But it was a really good race. I had a really good day watching that. And then
seems like a good race that attracts a good field.
Yes.
Of runners,
Yeah, it was really good. It's a great course. If you ever get the chance to run Ulster, go for it. But I think they had record numbers running it this year, because I chatted to the race director. When I got there, and I said there seems a lot of runners this year, and he said, we were full to capacity, but there was still 300 people on the waiting list, so we just went, let's just let them run it. So opened up and put 300 people more into the race.
Wow.
So even
Did
though
it
they were
all-
at capacity, it ran really smoothly. They did a really good job. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good then. That they took the risk. They obviously did the relevant assessments and
Yeah.
worked out that there was enough parking and there was enough transport,
Yeah.
and yeah. Well, that sounds good because I know you're gutted that you couldn't do it because I know it's one of your
Yeah.
favourites on the
Yeah,
calendar, isn't it?
it's brilliant. If you ever get the chance to go and run Ulster 10K, do it because
And
it's good.
it's not a run through event or anything. It's not a mass
No.
produced or one of these companies that organise it.
No.
It's like an
So
individually.
it's run by Raceways, which are
Oh.
the same people who run Leamington Spa Half
Right.
and used to run Kingfisher 10K.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
it's that same company.
So any good results then from Ulster?
I do you know what? I didn't even look at the results because there was just so many people that I saw running. I had a chat with a few people afterwards, and some people had run some really good races, but actual numbers, I haven't even looked at the results. So yeah. But all the B&R guys seem to have a good run. But results wise, I'm not sure. So I'm not going to search for it because I'll spend ages doing that. We should probably just, because we've got so much to get through and we're already 55 minutes into the pod.
Yeah, we haven't even started talking about you yet. Right, okay, yeah.
So next up were some half marathons, weren't there? So
Yes.
On the order I've got them down on my list here is Royal Parks half, and we knew somebody who was running that.
K-Dog, Kieran Turner went down and did it, smashed a
Yep.
1:36. I think that was his second fastest ever half. And I think he was not disappointed, but I think he basically said it was never going to be a PB today. But I actually think he almost overperformed because he's been running on like quite a low mileage, just from illness. And I think when he did Endure 24 earlier in the year and stuff, I think since then he's never really gotten back into that road running rhythm that he wanted to be in. And just a couple of injuries and niggles and things. To smash a 1:36 and his second fastest half, I think is a huge achievement. So very well done, Kieran.
Definitely. Yeah, great work, man. And then next on the list, I've got Manchester half.
Yeah.
Where apparently that's a really good race because it's not the Great Run one, is it? It's the other one, which is organised by the same people who run Manchester Marathon.
Yeah.
So it's mostly the Manchester Marathon course, isn't it?
I did it in 2021, so 4 years ago. I did 2:04 or 2:02. And
look at that! Look how far you've come.
Look at me now. But it is a really good event. It's one of the OG halves in this country. It's one of them that's just a half marathon, a bit like Oxford or Bath. It's got a big, strong appeal, and it's a good course as well. I think a lot of the roads are familiar to those of you that will have done Manchester Marathon. And as far as I can remember anyway, there were very, very similar routes. So I think it starts around the Man United ground, around Stretford, I think. And, you run the big difference, I think, the Great Run one, I think starts and finishes in the city centre.
Mm-hmm.
But the Manchester half starts a bit further out, but you've got nicer, longer straights, I think. Yeah. And you get that. You remember that under the what's the ring road around Manchester called? I can't remember. M62. You've got that bit when you go under the. Do you remember that? There's about 22 mile in.
Yeah,
You've got the underground collective or whatever they are, and you've got like that massive rave that's going on. I think you run through that. But it's a good race.
Because the Great Run one is more about the 10K, isn't it, rather than the half? It's like
I think so.
Like a country-renowned 10K, whereas the half is more of a offshoot of the 10K.
Yeah, I
but
think that's right.
But this one is properly about the half marathon and just the half, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
we know someone that went down and did it, don't we?
Yes,
he did really well.
Yes, yeah. So Adam Hill, who is a fellow Redditch resident, he went down and absolutely smashed out a a 69:20
So
for the half.
I don't know if he's run under 110 before. I assume it's a PB for him. I think it is. But he wrote something on his Instagram that I really like, actually, that I just wanted to just quickly read out. And he said, instead of like, you know, sort of saying, oh, the race did this, the race was like that for me. He said, Manchester Half Marathon 2025, 109.20 PB. Yeah, there you go. Finished 52nd and 3rd V40. And he says this: we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit.
Yeah.
Very philosophical. I like that. Yeah.
What I really like about Adam's Strava as well is he goes out for a run, and he runs an amazing run at races and stuff, and then his Strava just says, easy work, I am in great shape and stuff like that. And I'm like, this is brilliant. This is what I joined Strava for, this content.
Yeah, he's a good lad, Adam. Yeah, so very well done, Adam. And I'll probably see you down at Parkrun soon.
Yeah, amazing work. Then next we had Cardiff Half.
Yes.
Which is one of those which sells out really quickly, doesn't it? So it's turned into a ballot now.
Yes. Apparently so. This year is the first. Well, the last year was the last year that you could pay for an entry and be guaranteed an entry. Now you've got to put your name in the hat. So there's no guarantee you'll get in.
Ooh, okay. So Cardiff Half. It looks a good race though, doesn't it?
When I did it, I would say it's as good, if not better, than the Great North Run.
Oh wow!
Which is a big statement, but I enjoyed it that much. I think it's because it's a faster course. I think that's why it might slightly pip it. But the noise levels, the stuff that you see is arguably better than the Great North Run. You know, you go around these Cardiff landmarks, and you run out and by the sea, and you see Cardiff Bay and the Millennium Stadium and Cardiff Castle and that, and it is a really good race. So yeah, I rate Cardiff very highly. I can see why it's so popular.
Nice. Well, we had a couple of people that we know running Cardiff, and one of them was Beardy Rich and Mrs. Beardy Rich, Julia.
Yes. Congratulations to our newlyweds.
Yes. Yeah, congratulations. And Julia ran amazing. I think Rich ran with her. But what I like the most about her run is she managed to do Rich on the line and beat him by 1 second.
A win is a win.
Exactly. So, Julia came in 2:15:44 and Rich was 1 second behind. But yeah, Julia can take the win there with pride, definitely.
I'm sure he's going to say it was a chivalrous act.
Oh yeah, he let her win.
Yeah. We all know the truth, Rich. We all know the truth. She did you, and you couldn't hack the pace.
And then also running it was, I think he used this as a warm-up or a practice race for the Sunday after, was Marm, and he ran at Cardiff a 1:22:16. But yeah, as I say, I think he was trying to run a PB, but it was more a warm-up ready for the week after at the race he really wanted to do well at.
Yeah. Did you see the start of his race, though? Did you see the footage up the front? It's congested. It is very congested. Because I remember from the race, there's a hard left turn in the first half a mile, I think. And it's just a massive bottleneck. And I remember seeing that on Marm's video, and it all brought it back to me that first turn is it was like racing Spa in the F1. Remember that in Belgium? That first corner. Yeah.
I do have to give Marm a shout out though for a moment in his video where I audibly laughed out loud whilst sitting on my own in my house, and that was the bit where he was talking about how the last time he went to Wales he had slagged off Wales, and he was hoping that it would have no repercussions so no one would recognise him, and then it cut to a shot of him wearing a a disguised pair of glasses with a fake nose and the moustache, and I properly laughed out loud at that. It was brilliant.
He looked like something out of Guess Who, didn't he?
Yeah, brilliant. So
That was
good.
really. Can I, Mum? Can I borrow those glasses next time I go to France? After this podcast, I'm in big trouble.
Brilliant. And then he put them on, didn't he, to cross the finish line? So all the photos of him, so no one would recognise him. Brilliant. Anyway,
so good.
And then the last one I've got written down for the halves was one that went on last Sunday, and that was Oxford Half.
Yeah.
Where, as I say, Mom had used Cardiff as a warm-up because he went and smashed, I think, nearly a minute off his PB, and he is knocking on that 80-minute barrier because he ran a 1:20:37, so an 80 minutes and 37 seconds half.
That's quick, isn't it?
I think it won't be long before he is smashing that 80-minute barrier down rather than just knocking on it and saying hello.
I think he said he's got a milestone birthday coming up as well.
Yes, next year, yeah.
Is he 50? I can't remember.
Yeah, next year.
I think he said he wants to either do sub 120 before then, or that's what he wants to do when he's 50. I can't remember which way around.
I think it might be at Oxford next year. He wants to do it as his I am 50. I've just broke 80 minutes. So, yeah.
Yeah. I think he had one of those full circle moments, didn't he? Did he almost look a bit emotional to you on that Oxford?
He did, yes.
He looked like he was about to cry his eyes out. I thought, is this the same bloke that was wearing a pair of big nose camouflage glasses? I was like, this guy's choking me up here. Yeah. But he looked like he'd gone full circle because I think he'd raced Oxford how many years ago, and then he'd come round. He'd done 10 years of.
He put on his Instagram, didn't he? 10 years of the Oxford half marathon, and there was a photo of him when he ran it in 2015. Yeah.
So, well done, mate. That's brilliant.
Which actually means that's 11 years, not 10.
Might need to, change the small print in your YouTube video there, Mom. Too late. He's already got the views. No one cares.
Yeah, exactly. But also running that was Ryan and Hayley from Radius Adventures. Ryan ran a really good race. He ran a 1:16:33.
Yep.
So
very quick.
That was pretty good. I think he was much happier with that than he was at Worcester, because I think he was a bit disappointed with his Worcester race. And I saw him at Ulster 10K as well, and he was happier, but still not 100% happy. So I think he was happier again with his Oxford result, which is great. And then Hayley ran a 1:43:18, and I think she was seconds off getting a PB. So she was a bit gutted, but no, it's still a great run to get close to a PB. So
that's still shifting.
Really good.
That's really good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then the other person we knew running Oxford was Chris Dorr.
Yes.
And he ran a 2:09:09, so broke 2:10, which is fantastic. I think his big aim is to break that 2-hour barrier very soon.
Well, I think he did 2:16 at Warwick this year. That's 7 minutes, in 6 months. So he's
exactly
still making some really good progress.
And if I remember rightly, he's now taken the crown for fastest half marathoner in his family, which he's quite happy about because he's beaten his sister's PB.
Yeah, I think he's happy about that. Yeah, so well done. Yeah. Win's a win.
Great work. Exactly. And I'm sure in those races we've spoken about, there was lots more people who did the race that we know. But if we've missed you out, we are very sorry. Let us know that you raced one of those races, and we'll give you a shout out.
Yeah. Before we move on to the big one, which happened last weekend,
Yes.
There is another marathon I forgot to mention this weekend. I think it's the Cape Town Marathon on the 19th of October.
Okay.
And that is their last one before they try and become a... what's it called?
A marathon
World
major.
Major. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I think they're sort of taking a leaf out of Sydney's book and hope it all goes well.
Yeah, because they have to hit a certain amount of entrants, and then they have to prove they've got the infrastructure and all of that stuff. So yeah, so are they applying to be a major? So next year will be the one where they have to prove that they've got all the entry power and the infrastructure and everything.
I guess so. It says here on their homepage, Africa's first Abbott World Marathon major candidate. It's time to show the world how we run a marathon in Africa. We're on a mission to put Cape Town, the African continent, its iconic marathon champions and its magnificent... of course, some of the best runners in the world have not got a major marathon, have they? And its magnificently diverse cultures on the world stage. Everyone is invited to the first Abbott World Marathon Majors candidate race. So, yeah, they're obviously hopeful that they can do the business.
Yeah. Because I think the plan for the World Majors is to try and have one in every continent, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
they hopefully they manage to do that.
Yeah, I just want to quickly look. It looks like a good course, you know. I can't tell how hilly it's going to be, but it looks like it's a good circular route and elevation gain. It's a little bit bumpy. 282 meters. So what would you say that is? About 700 foot.
Yeah, that is quite hilly.
Okay, maybe that will not be a fast course then.
Because I think, am I right in thinking Sydney is about 800 foot? Is it?
Sounds about right. Yeah.
Hang on, Sydney, because Sydney is the hilliest major of all of them at the moment.
Is it? Yeah, I've got it here. Sydney elevation gain 313. So 1,000. 1,040 feet.
Yeah.
Sydney. So Cape Town slightly less, a little bit less.
So it's probably on a par with New York then, because I think New York's the second hilliest.
I'm just looking at that now. Yeah, NYC is only 850 meters. Yeah. Feet.
Yeah. So
that's 245. So yeah, okay. So Sydney is the hilliest by some margin by the looks of things. So yeah. Anyway, sorry. Talking about marathon majors.
Yes. So last Sunday was Chicago.
Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago. Chicago Marathon. The latest of the marathon majors to run. And there was some amazing running going on. So the winner of the race ended up being Jacob Kiplimo in his second ever marathon major. Well, second ever marathon, because he ran London at the start, in April this year, as his first ever one. But apparently he was on at halfway. He was on world record pace at halfway. But he did slow up a bit, and he came over the finish line in 2:02:23. But that puts him number 7 all time on the marathon for the men. So that's not a bad run, is it? Number 7 all time. No. 2:02:23. But other men of note within that was in 4th place was Conor Mantz, the American, who broke the American record for the marathon, and he ran 2:04:43.
He's a good runner, isn't he?
He is. He's incredible.
He's really good. Yeah.
So yeah, that was that was pretty good. But I don't know whether you saw he was wearing the what people think will be the Alpha Fly 4.
Oh no, I didn't hear anything about that.
So he was wearing a new prototype of the Alpha Fly. So yeah, that was interesting. And then in 9th place was Rory Linkletter, who actually was in a bit of a competition with Conor Mantz, because the old American record and the Canadian record were 2 seconds apart. And Rory Linkletter had a few, during all the interviews and everything, kept on saying, why do we just keep on talking about the American record when the Canadian record, which is the North American record, is actually 2 seconds faster? And he was like, so we're both going for our records for our countries, but the Canadian one is the North American record, which is actually faster, but everybody just keeps on talking about this American record.
Fair enough.
But yeah, he came in 9th overall in 2:06:49, but he is now number 2 in the Canadian all-time list. So that's another great run.
So what did he run?
2:06:49.
Wow. And Conor Mantz ran 2:04.
Yeah.
Flipping hell. That's really good, isn't it?
Yeah. So pretty good. And then for the women, Howie Facer was the winner, and it was her I think it was her second marathon. So same as Jacob Klippelemo, because she ran Tokyo this year, and she came 3rd in Tokyo. And she ran 2:14:56, and she is now number 5 on the all-time list for the women after that run, and she is now number 2 on the Ethiopian all-time list.
Wow!
So yeah, another great run from her.
Yeah, brilliant.
But yeah, after talking about the elites, we know a few people who were running Chicago as well.
Yeah.
But I don't think any of them had the day they were hoping for.
Yeah, that's probably fair to say. So we've seen this week, I don't know if you've seen it, but Aubrey, who's in our little WhatsApp group that we've got, went and did Chicago, and it's probably fair to say had a bit of an epic blow up.
Yes, he had a rather bad day at the office, didn't he?
Yeah.
He was on PB pace halfway. He then ran a 30k PB, but by that point at 30k, I think the wheels had fallen off, hadn't they? And he had to slow up quite a lot and walk it in for some of it. But
such a horrible place to find yourself, isn't it?
It is.
I remember when I did Brighton, it was. I remember getting to about 15 miles, and it hit me then, and I was like, "This is going to be a really bad couple of hours." That's how I remember feeling, because you walk a bit and you run a bit, and you think, "I'm going to have to walk again," and then the walks get longer and the runs get shorter, don't they?
Yeah, and it hurts more to walk than it does run. So you're walking and you're still in pain. Yeah. It's horrible. It is. It's not a nice place to be at all. But he got it done and got it finished. And there was a real nice moment in his video at 20 miles where he sees his son, who's watching him, which is really good.
That must have been amazing. Yeah. So congratulations, Aubrey. That's great. And he's done a great video about it. So
yes, definitely go and check that out.
But we know a couple of people, don't we, from Worcester who went and
yes, yeah.
First
off was Kieran Deegan, the Worcester Kipchoge.
I don't think he even knows I call him that, but I like it.
Yeah, who he had a tough day at the office again, didn't he? What was it you said went? Was it his calf or his hammy?
I think he said it was his knee, actually.
Oh, his knee went. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's even worse.
Yeah. So it sounds. Hopefully, it's not serious.
Yeah.
That's not muscular, is it? That could be a. Well, hopefully nothing too bad. But yeah, he says here, possibly the hardest marathon I've done. done with what happened. So proud to finish. Knee went at 17, cramp at mile 21. I've never had cramp before in a marathon. Hobbled to the end, got the medal. Knee surgery in 3 weeks, and hopefully we'll have a good crack at some marathons next year.
What?
So I didn't realise he's in knee surgery.
Yeah.
So maybe he's got an existing problem.
I was going to say, so yeah, has that flared up an old injury or, I don't know.
Yeah.
But can I just say, what a lucky man if that's the first time he's ever had cramp in a marathon. He's done he's done how many marathons and he's never had cramp. He is a lucky man.
He might have done all the majors, you know. Well, he's certainly done a lot of the American ones and the European ones.
Yeah.
But how did he do? I haven't got his time in front of me.
So he ran 3:04:02.
Wow. That's amazing, isn't it?
Which is very impressive with one knee that ain't working and then cramp at 20 mile. That's still some good going, isn't it?
So his hobble is probably faster than some people's 5K pace. So yeah, well done, Kieran. Well done,
amazing work, man. And then finally, last but not least on our list is old Mac Ashworth, friend of the podcast, Mac. Who, if you haven't listened to it yet, go back a few episodes and we had Mac on the podcast. But he again had a bad day at the office, not the day he wanted. He was on for his target pace for quite a while, but then I think the shotguns of the injuries came out from the crowd and took him down, and he didn't quite have the end of the race which he was hoping for. Yeah,
so I think his PB might have been 3:36, maybe
something like that. Yes,
and he came in at 3:40. I think that was right, wasn't it?
Yeah, 3:40:26. Yeah.
So but that's an incredible race. As we all know, marathons are just such a fickle beast. You can train like a Trojan or a Spartan, and you can still come a cropper on race day. And considering it didn't go to plan, it's still a really solid race.
It's still great.
And when you factor in jet lag and travel fatigue.
Well, I was going to say his tour of Chicago, which he did like in the days before. Walking around everywhere in Chicago probably didn't help him for the marathon. But
and you must be going into the race half a stone heavier than how you stepped off the plane after all that deep dish pizza.
Yeah. So that can't have done him any favors for the actual race. But that's part of traveling to go and do a race, isn't it? You can't travel all that way to Chicago and not see Chicago.
You've got to, and it's got to be done. And I think we'd all do exactly the same. It might be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Just go and have the best time. You know, what happens on the course happens on the course. It's life experience. It's what we do as runners. If it didn't go the way you wanted it to, you'll quickly forget about that. But the memories of the day and the week will live forever. You know, so yeah. So it's just one of them things. It's the disappointment or the feeling of could have gone better, but then that quickly goes and you realise what you have done and that the actual victory is getting there, and the endless 5 a.m. runs and the post work runs and the running in the pitch black and the freezing cold and the boiling hot. You know, it's those runs. That's what makes you a runner, not just some watch time on Strava.
The race is just the icing on the cake, isn't it? But the actual making of the cake itself is all in the training.
And there's always another one. There's always the next one. Because he says here, what an incredible place to get chewed up and spat out. The chase for the perfect marathon execution continues. Note, I did not go out at 100-metre world record pace. GPS struggles early on. Brilliant. But
I mean, he's worked really hard to get where he is at the moment, and it's going to happen eventually. You will get to the point where that perfect race happens, and all of these races where it doesn't go to plan just makes that one where it does all the more sweeter.
Mac will go sub 3 one day, definitely, 100%. If you look at his 5K time and everything he does across different distances, he's Mr. Consistent. He puts in the miles, he puts in the work. He'll be sub 3. He'll be sub 3 soon.
Yeah. Awesome work, Mac. But that was Chicago Marathon.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to watch any of it because I was away. In fact, I did try and watch a live stream of it, but it was one of them that kept getting shut down. And you just think, I can't be bothered to keep chasing the next one. And I saw at the time that the guy was on for world record pace, Kiplimo, but then next feed he was slowing down. His 5K splits were getting slower and slower. So I thought, well, you're not going to pick that time back up now once you've fallen off the pace. So I thought, I just didn't watch the end of it, but yeah, looks like a good race, doesn't it, Chicago?
It does indeed. But upcoming races which are coming up this weekend, there is Amsterdam Marathon, which is one that you've done in the past. Yeah.
Can I just say best wishes to Kaylee, who was one of our regular listeners.
Although I was going to say, although she's not running the marathon anymore, is she?
No, she is decided to call time on the marathon this year because I think she's got. I can't remember what her issues were. I think it was her shins. Yeah. So she was going to do it, but just made the decision not to do it. Chris is going out her other half to do the half marathon.
Yeah.
By the way, Chris will never run a marathon. We've got to try and get him on to run a marathon one day because I really want to know how he'll get on. But Chris, he's going out to do the half.
Do it. Try it. Try it.
So, she's going out to support Chris doing the half. So, best wishes to you both.
Yes,
and Kaylee,
definitely.
Looking forward to seeing you back training and running marathons soon.
Yeah, for sure. And then there is also Abingdon Marathon happening this weekend.
Yeah.
Where one half of the two running brooms is taking part. Dawn, she is running on Sunday, and also Andy Rayner, the FOD runner, is running Abingdon as well.
Yeah, I'm just going to quickly have a look at the course because I don't really know a lot about Abingdon. I think it might be quite a fast race.
I think it is. I think Andy Rayner's run it before, hasn't he?
Last year there was a really bad storm, wasn't there?
Yeah. But I think it is quite a good course. If the weather plays nicely, it's quite a good course for a good race.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's quite exciting that those guys are going out there. Has John Broome retired from marathons? I think he might have.
Well, I think he's concentrating on the shorter stuff. So he's concentrating on the 5K and the 10K. I don't know if he's ever retired from marathon running, but he said he can't be bothered with the training. He'd much rather train and race a short, fast race rather than doing all of the training to go and do a marathon.
Well, this might be music to your ears, by the way, or for anybody listening for next year. Elevation gain. It says here, distance 26.15 miles. So I don't know how.
Oh.
And this is on the official course. This is on the official course page as well. Elevation gain 260 feet.
Oh, that's not much, is it?
No. So that sounds pretty flat. But I don't know why it says 26.15 and they've just rounded it up to 26.2. Because it says at the top, our 26.2 mile course starts and finishes at the Tilsley Park track. Look at the course. Look at the course map. Distance 26.15 miles. Interesting. But I'm sure they've got their certification and all that.
Yeah, they've got to have definitely. And the only other thing I wanted to say about Sunday's racing is there is someone who is racing their first ever proper 5K with timing and a medal at the end and everything. And that is someone called Ollie Close. So Ryan's son, Ollie, is going to be running his first ever proper race on
Is he?
Sunday. Yeah,
Go on,
and
Ollie. Go on, man. Go on,
so
son.
go for it, Ollie. You can absolutely do this, and you're gonna smash it, mate.
I hope you've got a pair of Bretts on as well. I hope you like. I hope you go as fancy dress as Brett, and I hope you do really well, mate. Best of luck.
Yeah, amazing.
And just enjoy the day, and just have a ball.
Go for it and smash it, mate.
Yeah, good luck.
But yeah, that is. I think that's all the races coming up. I think anyway. But there's one race that we haven't recapped yet or talked about, and we do need a proper race recap.
Can we do it in a minute?
Yeah, go on.
Because there's one thing we haven't talked about.
What's that?
And we haven't talked about this for 6 months.
Oh.
Yeah. Why don't you tell us about your training week?
Yeah, okay. Interesting. Yeah, I'm running again, which is incredible. Yeah, I am. Yeah, my head is in a real good place at the moment because I'm back out pounding the pavement. It's been really good just going out and just at the moment I'm just doing everything easy or easy-ish. I probably should be going a bit slower than I am, but I'm going out and I'm not really looking at my watch. I'm just running to what feels all right.
That's because it's telling you your heart rate's at 195.
Yeah,
I'm sick and tired of looking at my watch.
No, I mean my heart rate is going up to into the 160s, but that's like when I'm going uphill and stuff. So yeah, that's why I am keeping it down into like the 140s, just slipping maybe into the 150s at points. But wrist heart rate's never accurate anyway. But I'm taking everything easy. I'm running like 5k and then going down to the gym and using the cross trainer and the bike just to add a bit of volume with no impact. But yeah, it's good.
Amazing.
I've managed to get out on. So I did my first one at Parkrun, which was really good, and I ran a bit quick on that. Basically, I set off, and I said to Sammy, who Sammy Taff, who I work with. I was at work in the week, and I went, "You're going to come down and run Parkrun? You can run 25 minutes, so you can come and pace me." And he was like, "Yeah, okay." So he got a babysitter, come down on Saturday and said, "Right then, we're running 25 minutes." I went, "Yes, 25 minutes. I'll be well happy." So we set off, and we ran the first mile. And so 25 minutes would be 8-minute miling. And we ran the first mile, and we ran the first mile in 7:59. And I was like, nice. Sammy, perfect. Your pacing is perfect. And then we ran round the back of the lake, and we come down to finish the first lap. And as we finished the first lap, Sammy went, "Oh, we've sped up a bit. We're going a bit fast." And I went, "All right, and cool. Okay, we'll try and slow it up a little bit." And then as I went past the start and finish part by the cafe and everything, as we went into that bit, when you do the bit where you turn back on yourself for the second lap where you go inside to the lake, I spotted the Fentons. So and Holly was going for a PB, and they were only just up ahead, and I thought, oh, I'll go and catch them up and see if I can run the rest with them. So I went to catch them up and basically dropped Sammy and didn't realise it. So he was running perfectly on pace and did a really good pacing job, but ended up pacing himself because I ran off, which was really bad. But anyway, I caught up with the Fentons, and Holly absolutely smashed it and managed to get her new PB, which was awesome. I ran the rest of it with them. But I ended up running exactly 24 minutes on the dot. Nice. So yeah, ran way too fast, but I was an eager beaver and excited. But then, since then I've managed to run on Sundays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. And it's been really good. And then I've obviously been topping up on the cross trainer and the bike. But this week, I will say, So I did that park run as my first run back. Then on the next day, on the Sunday, I was excited. So I went out and did another 5K, just nice and easy. I woke up on the Monday and I'd felt like I'd run a marathon. It was horrendous. The DOMs I had
Really?
was crazy.
Ha!
So that was interesting. And then this week on Tuesday and yesterday on Thursday evening, I decided to add a little bit of S&C in. So no weight, just body weight. So I've done some like reverse lunges, a couple of squats, some leg raises, some bridges and stuff. And I have had major DOMs from it. Even though I'm doing body weight and not doing much at all, I have just become so weak compared to what I was back in April. It's like starting from scratch again.
Yeah.
And my left leg especially is really weak compared to my right one. But it's going to be because it's not been used properly for so long. But yeah, just using my body again has been it's been crazy. But yeah, over the last week I've got a little bit of a niggle in my knee, which I'm sure it's got to be muscular or tendon or ligament or something like that. It can't be bone. It can't be bone.
Hopefully not.
I haven't done anything for 6 months, so it can't be bone after like a week and a half, 2 weeks of get back running. So I think it's just everything trying to get back into the shock of being used. So I'll keep an eye on it, but it's good. It's good to be back.
Good. That's amazing. So how many park runs have you got under your belt? Just is it 2?
Only
or one?
only the one, because I was trading last Saturday at an event, so I couldn't make it down to Parkrun. So I went out for a run in the evening. But I'll be going down again tomorrow, so I'll be getting second one in. So yeah, can't wait.
When I was away that weekend, we were hearing that back home there was something called Storm Amy or something
Storm
like that.
Amy, yes.
Was it as bad as it sounded, or was it not that bad?
So when we went down to Parkrun, I thought it would be quite bad and breezy, but it was actually all right at Parkrun. It wasn't bad at all. But then in the afternoon, it got really windy and quite bad gales. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was one of them where you're like, thank God I've not got a race this weekend.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah. I think that's one of the things, because it was Ulster 10K weekend, and on Ulster 10K, I got there and I thought, these conditions are perfect. So no one's got an excuse for running badly today. And then when they all crossed the finish, I went and spoke to everybody, and they were like, the headwind coming down that last 2K, because the last 2K is pretty much downhill. You crest a hill at 8K, and then you turn right, and basically it's more or less downhill for the last 2K, other than turning right into the high street and running down the high street. And that's the bit where loads of people make up some time because they can really let their legs go. And they said they were fighting against the headwind so much in that downhill, they were running slower than if they were on the flat.
Really?
So, yeah. So, yeah, people didn't quite hit the times they wanted because that last 2K was so tough.
Well, it's good to have you back. You must be absolutely buzzing to be back running. Man.
Yeah,
and how many miles have you been getting in for the weeks you've been running again?
So obviously the first week back, I only did the Saturday and Sunday because I did Parkrun and then a 5K on the Sunday. So I got in, what was that? So that first one, I did 6.28 mile. And then last week in total, I did 13.59 mile. So 13 and a half mile. So
this is a question I was going to ask you in the podcast, but I was like, no, save it. What is the distance you're looking forward to racing first?
The 10K against you on grass.
Correct answer. The showdown that everybody's waiting for.
Yeah, the first cross country. By the way, I got it wrong. So I've mixed up the courses of where we will be racing, and so I said to you it was going to be the one where there's the water stream crossing. But it's not that one. That is Pittville Park in Cheltenham.
Okay.
And that's not where the first one is. We are running, what's it called, in Leamington?
Newbold
Common. And that is, can you remember in February when I ran the cross country where I obviously had a broken leg and I was in quite a bit of pain, but I had a really good run at the one where I said it was the reverse direction, and I thought they'd cut the hill out, but then there was the big massive hill that we had to run up 3 times. It's that course.
3 laps it's going to be.
Yeah
That hill 3 times. Okay, right, exciting. I've got a month to work on my tactics. No, not even that, is it? Right, exciting.
No, yeah, because it's the 15th of November, and what are we on? We're on the 17th of October now. So we've got from tomorrow, it's 4 weeks.
Exciting. This will be my first race as well. Race within a race.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But you're in shape. That's the problem. You're in very good shape.
But you are naturally
bugger
going to come back hard. And I don't want to be the reason that you get another stress fracture. I hope I'm not, anyway.
Yeah. Somebody was asking me the other day about race tactics, but I can't tell you.
So you've even been thinking about it, right? Yeah. Do I go out hard and try and just Jakob you and try and wear you out? But then am I arrogant enough to think that I can do that? Do I sit on your shoulder? But what about if you go out hard? There's a lot to consider, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. Yeah. There is a huge amount. And because I might not even be fit enough to race by then. It's only 4 weeks away.
Yeah. I don't care. You're still racing it. You're still racing it. I don't want to hear your excuses. Stress fracture or no stress fracture.
And you still want full effort, don't you? Yeah.
Full effort. Absolutely. Yeah. I don't want any excuses at the end going, oh, it's just a shakeout for me.
Yeah. You want overweight, out of shape Brett to really push himself so that you can then have the trophy of running the red line.
Yes. We should make a trophy. This could be the only chance I ever get to beat you. We definitely make a trophy, yeah.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Exciting. Yeah.
So off that now, let's have a race recap of Bruges Half Marathon. Tell us all about it. I was tracking you along the way, and I was getting excited when you went through halfway, and then when you went through 10 mile and 11 mile, and I was like, yes, this is on. This is on.
But did you notice me getting slower?
I did, yes, but I was like, come on.
Yeah, hang on. Well, I did what I said I was going to do, and I'm quite pleased that I did. Now, this is going to sound, silly to some people, but I positive splitted it very deliberately, and I'm now kind of in a new kind of mode of thinking where I've stopped being so precious about the perfect race, and now it's a numbers game. It's a results game.
Yep.
So you get there by hook or by crook, and you get almost taught early on or preached at early on. Oh, never go out too fast. Never put time in the bank. It's a fool's game. Rubbish. Get time in the bank. Get it on your side whilst you're feeling good.
Yeah. Well, I would say you can do that all the way up to a half. As soon as you get up to the marathon, not a good idea.
Well, yeah, maybe not. But I did think that for a half marathon, I think this is hang-onable. Maybe.
Yes.
Is it?
Yes.
We'll find out. So my plan after running in from the caravan park into Bruges was, I did about a 5k run before it even started it, but I did it nice and easy. Did some drills. You'll be proud of me. There was loads. Well, I'll tell you what helped, right? I don't want this to sound arrogant, but I didn't know anyone there and no one knew me. And that was brilliant. So I could literally just concentrate. Because sometimes at these races, when you get the camera, You end up chatting to people, and before you know it, the gun goes off and you're away. And you think, oh, I haven't done any racing. I've just been chatting nonsense, But I didn't talk to anybody because I didn't know anybody. And no one came and said, oh, you're the best YouTuber in the world. No one ever said that anyway. So yeah, I could literally, I almost felt like I had quite a lot of time to prepare. It was a 10 o'clock start, which is quite generous as well. So I got down there for about 9, and then I picked my number up the day before, so I didn't have to worry about any of that. I'd had a gel. I'd had half of my Voom bar on the way in, and then I had the other half just before we started. And I got down there, and I was like, right, I can do some drills. I'm feeling good. I had a strange breakfast because I had a camping breakfast. Basically, we had to eat all the food that we had. So I didn't realise there's like custom import rules in the UK where we couldn't bring any dairy products back. So we had to eat it all. So I had to eat all the yogurt. So I had granola and yogurt for breakfast, which is not the best breakfast for a marathoner. But I got down to the start line feeling good, and my bowel movements were steady, so I was quite happy with that. So I didn't have any worries. I wasn't feeling tense or anything. And then got into the first, because the thing is, if you're sub 3, because a marathon at the same time, or sub 130, you're in the first pen. You're in the elite pen. So I literally was at the front with like the 220 marathoners and the 109. I was with Adam Hill basically at the front.
Wow. Okay.
With the Belgium Adam Hill. And I was thinking, I'm massively like feeling out my depth here, but we'll go with it. And then the gun went off, and I was like, right, I'm locking in. What I knew I had to do was 5k splits of 21:15, which everybody knows. If you're running sub 3 or sub 90, that's what you need to hit as a maximum. First 5k GPS 20:44. So for a 5k, that's considerably quicker. Well, that's nearly 5 seconds, between 5 and 10 seconds a k quicker, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I was going off quite quick. My first 1, 2, and 3Ks were 4:06. And I said to myself, right, I'm going to slow down on the next one. I'm going to slow down on the next one. And I just wasn't slowing down. I was like, what am I doing? And then I got through 10k, well below the target time. Strava time here, I can't tell you the exact time, but Strava time here was 41:38. And I needed 42:30, so I'm nearly a minute ahead.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah.
So I've had a strong 10k. I think that's my second fastest or third fastest ever 10k. And then
that's the way to do it, though, isn't it?
And then 10 to 15k, I was like, okay. I started noticing my split times getting slower.
Mm-hmm.
But it says here that my 10 to 15k was 21:15, so that was bang on the money. But then 15 to 20, I must have got overtaken 50 times, maybe more. But it's difficult to tell because some people are doing the marathon, so you don't really know. And you are overtaking a couple of people as well. And what's difficult to judge as well is some people are just hardly expending any energy because they're not even halfway through their race. And some people are like me and they're really struggling. And they're probably thinking, you ain't doing the marathon, are you, mate? But I got through the 10 to 15 to 20k at 21:27. So not awful.
No.
But I've gone from 4:06s in the first 5k to 4:18.
Because you wanted, 21:15, and you went through in 21:27.
For the last 5k, yeah.
Okay, cool. So
what's
that 12 seconds off? Yeah.
Yeah. So I at this point, I was probably about, at the end, we all know I finished in 21:10, so I had 49 seconds. I was about that, but I couldn't believe it, if you know what I mean, because we've all been there where your watch tells you you've done a half marathon, you've still got half a mile to go, or you've still got you've still got 400 meters left to go. So I thought, right, I won't. It's dangerous to trust your watch, and it's good to be ahead of pace. Yeah. Not always, but it's at this point of the race, it's good to be ahead of pace. And then I was like, I got through 20k, and I'm like, right, I've got just over 4 minutes left. I can run for 4 minutes and just give everything now. So I do this thing when I race that I get through halfway and then I've just stopped looking at my watch. I stopped looking at the average pace and I stopped trying to to worry too much. I know what the effort feels like by then, so then we can just keep going. And got to 20k, 21k, and I tell you what made me laugh. There was a guy who was pacing his wife, and his poor old long-suffering wife was probably sick of her husband, and he was French, and he was really coaching her to try and get this sub 90, and I overtook them, and I was thinking, that could be me. Don't let that be you. Don't, because she was going. Let's say I'm running 4:15, so 3 hour half marathon, 3 hour pace, half marathon pace. She was running at like 140 pace, so she'd really bonked, and I was thinking that's enough to ruin my half. So I got through them, and then I started picking people off. Then the last section you run. By the way, the course is fantastic. I would recommend Bruges Half to all. My overall elevation was about 20 metres, so about 60 foot.
Wow.
Whether that's true or not, to what it actually is, I don't know, but it's not going to be far away. We only went over canal bridges, and everything was run by the river or the canal, so it was pan flat. The surface, however, was majority tarmac. In places, it was a little bit like the Pitchcroft Parkrun, so it was a little bit like a gravelly, hard packed trail.
Yeah.
In a couple of, but the finish line and the start was on the cobbles. Ooh. So my finish line sprint, I've never run so much. I've never run so hard, but concentrated so much at the same time.
Yeah.
Because you are so close to an ankle sprain.
Yeah, you didn't want to end up like that. Have you seen that Instagram reel of the guy trying to finish and his ankles go in every direction you can think of?
Yeah.
And then he ends up face planting just as he crosses the finish line.
Because it could quite easily happen. It's a little bit, in some places, it's a bit sunken as well. And when you're sort of striding out by then, it's easy to make a mistake. So I was trying to concentrate as much as I could. And I was giving it the big un, talking to my camera at the same time, saying, I'm going to do it. And ran, my Strava says I finished at the last 200 metres, I did at 3:17 a K.
Oh, yes.
So I really emptied the tank, and then crossed the line at 1:29.10.
Incredible.
And it only sunk in that I was going to do it in that last 90 seconds or so. But I thought, instead of coasting along, I'm going to absolutely smash it, because I couldn't allow myself to just jog it in. I was like, no, I've got to smash it in.
I was watching your little dot getting towards that checkered flag on the tracker, and it got to the checkered flag, and then the time kept on counting, and I was like, oh no, his chip hasn't like exaggerated where he is on the course, and his chip thinks he's finished, but he hasn't actually crossed the finish line. And I was like, no, and it kept on counting, and I was like, come on, Andy, come on. And then it went over 1:30, and I was like, oh, no, this is bad.
The clock went over 1:30 on my chip.
It carried on counting. And I was like, oh, no, he hasn't done it. So I thought, hang on a minute, because it stopped and it's not moving, I'm going to refresh the page. And I refreshed the page, and it just went 1:29.10. And I was like, yes! Oh, yeah, it was amazing.
Oh, but what a feeling. It was... I think when you're trying to go for like a milestone, I imagine you felt this when you first did your sub 3. You almost get a feel towards the end of the race that you're all, especially if you all set off within the same few seconds, you get a feeling that those people around you that you've been running with, you're on a mission to get this done together. And you all know that you've got about 15, 20 seconds leeway, or maybe a bit longer, maybe less. But you just know, and you just sort of cross the finish line together, knowing that you've done it. And it's when you're all hurtling towards a line before a big time like a 1:30, there's a lot of you trying to go for it, isn't there?
Yeah.
And it's a good feeling. It's a cracking feeling, honestly. It feels like...
There's some carnage going on towards that finish line, isn't there? When it's such a significant time, there's some carnage going on. People absolutely like... just trying to hobble towards that finish line as you're passing them, and it's it's incredible that feeling of running down that finish straight.
But because I positive splitted it, I don't think for that reason I could have given much more. We're talking maybe a few seconds, maybe the odd second here or there towards the end. I could have picked an extra 5 or 10 seconds up across the last 10k, but I don't think I could have gone 128, 127. Although I did set off at 128 pace. I don't think I'm in that shape.
No.
You know, I would have loved, because Merv from Worcester from Club, he said he set off in his Pro 4s like I did, and he kept looking at his watch, and it was like me. I was like, oh my God, it's the same thing's going to happen to me. I'm going to get 127.5. He said his watch kept saying 406, 405, which is 127 pace-ish, something like that, 128. And he said he just didn't slow down, and he just dropped the pacer. His plan was to run with the pacer, and he just carried on, and he never slowed down. But I slowed down. That didn't happen to me. And that last 5k, or that last, from 10 mile onwards, it didn't quite. There's just a turning point. It happened with Leggett Lee and Dan at Worcester. I get to 10k and I think, I'm in a race now. I'm in a real dogfight here. Like, it's almost like a switch goes off and you're like, okay, right. It's not feeling quite so easy anymore. And but I going into it was bizarre because I'd had this 2 weeks plus of just eating cheese and bread and croissants and, drinking wine. I got pissed the day before. We were in Bruges. Laura and I were on the beers. We went to the Duvelorium, whatever it's called, the Duvelium, which is right in the square, which is a place we love to go. And we just had these 8% beers, came out as smashed.
Did you just actually give away the reason you managed to run a 129? Because you went in the DeLorean and actually time travelled, yeah?
That was exactly right. I knew, yeah. I went in the DeLorean, gunned it to 88. But no, there's a pub in Bruges, if ever any of you make it there, I keep calling it the Duvelium, but I only realised last week that it was not called that. It's called the Duvelorium. And do you know the beer Duvel?
Yes, yeah.
It sells that with other Belgian stuff, but it's got this amazing viewpoint of Bruges, and it's right on the Old Town Square, and it's right on top of the finish line. And we just got carried away there, and we just had a couple of beers, and you know what the beers are like over there. They're twice the strength of British beers.
Yeah.
And I think just didn't put too much pressure on it. And I was getting worried towards the end of the holiday, thinking next time I do this, I'm going to do what Tommy D did at Boston, and I'm going to do the race first and then holiday afterwards. But it actually worked out okay. So I'm as surprised as you lot are. So, yeah, maybe that's the way forward. Beer, cheese, wine, bread, croissants, you name it.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I 30,000 steps a day, every day for 2 weeks as well.
Yeah. I did put that on our Instagram, that you were still living life on the road on a diet of baguettes, jambon, fromage, and croissants.
Exactly. So that is the way forward. You heard it here first. But yes, thank you very much for your support and for roaring me across the line. It was very much felt and supported.
So
and
good.
I felt supported and yeah. So I would recommend the race, by the way. So there is a marathon that goes off at the same time, and I looked afterwards. I could be wrong about this, but there was about 5,000 that did the half. And there was about 3,000 that did the marathon.
Oh, wow. Okay. So decent size.
Decent turnout, yeah. What the marathon course is like, I don't know. After we let them go. I think it's like a figure of 8. So we all do the first half. And the half's obviously finished. But then the marathon obviously does the next course. The next bit of the course. But the winner won it in about 2:20.
Okay.
So it's a fairly fast course. And the winner of the half, I think, did it in about 72. And I think I came about 350th or something. 300, I think I came in the top 5%.
Yeah, that's
So particularly
result,
buzzing with
dude.
that. So yeah,
amazing.
So I'm not sure I'll be doing it next year, but I would love to do it again, and I would definitely recommend the Bruges Half.
Amazing.
It's a really good race.
So how does it feel to now be in the sub 90 club?
All I can think of is how on earth do people run a marathon at that pace? It is bonkers, but it feels really good because I've got these 4 milestones in my head that I really want to tick off, and I've done 2 of them now. I've done the sub 20, I've done the sub 90. There's just 2 big ones left.
Yes.
And so sub 40 10K is next.
Okay, right. So have you thought how far in the future you want to try and put that sub 3 on the map, or for the full marathon, or is that just something to think about when you get to it?
I think 2027. What I'm thinking of doing, because I've got a spring marathon booked for next year, which I will talk about at a later date, and then I'm going to have a year off marathoning.
Oh,
rather than do Valencia or one of the big autumn ones. I think I'm going to have a year off, so I think I'm going to leave it until 2027. So
end of 2027.
Or the beginning, but I'm just going to have a good 12 months between my spring in 2026.
Okay, right, yeah. Because when you said I'm going to have a year off, if you're doing one in spring 2026, then you would have to do it like summer or autumn, wouldn't you, in 27 to have a full year off?
Well, couldn't I just do a spring 2027 race? That'd be a year off.
Yeah, I suppose. I thought you meant like a full year of no marathon training and everything. Because you're going to have to start training again, aren't you, before the end of the year?
Oh, yeah. Marathon to marathon, it's a year, but the marathon training starts 4 months before the marathon. So, I see what you mean. Yeah, maybe that might be a better thing to do. But yeah, I want a bit of time to pass in between. But I say that, but I'll probably sign up to having a marathon next week. But I'm going to try and leave myself a good distance, because there's other things I want to do next year. Like I love my River 7 run so much that I want to do something as big or epic as that, and I want to do maybe work on kicking my 5K time down towards 18. Maybe that's what I'd love to do. There's other goals that I want to hit. So, and marathons can be heartbreaking. You can spend so much time putting all this work into something, and then it doesn't go your way on race day. You
only get one bite at the apple, don't you? Whereas a 5K, you can do one nearly every other week.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to have a year away from it. Or maybe I'll do one, but maybe pace somebody else. That could be something that could be fun to do. So I still do a marathon, but it's not about me. It's be about somebody else, maybe. So there could be that to consider, or whatever I've just said over the last 2 minutes turns out to be complete nonsense, and I just book one and just full send it in Valencia next year. But to conclude, sub 90, and feeling really proud of myself, because leading up to it, I don't know if it was cockiness, arrogance, confidence, call it what you want, but I was sure that I was going to do it. Yeah. I knew I was going to do it, which was weird. I just knew I was going to do it.
But that's part of the battle. If you believe you can do it, then that's the only way you can do it. Because if you don't believe you're going to do it, then there's no way you can. No. So,
and I'd really enjoyed my running during the French trip. I'd really enjoyed the holiday, and I was in I'll tell you what it was. I got to Bruges. What's going on in the Ellesmore household, by the way? Oh,
this little man had decided.
I thought there was an intruder.
This little man had decided to climb up on the shelves.
Bobes, you little monkey. So, I was just in a really good mood. I was in a really good place, mentally, physically. I'd done some good runs while I was away. I think I'd tapered quite well, and was just feeling just happy. Yeah, and I think when you're in a good place, you'll run well. So
yeah, definitely.
That's what happened. Yeah.
Amazing.
So, yeah.
Awesome work, mate. Awesome work. So
Thank
good.
you very much.
Right, so where are we? Oh man. Okay. Do you reckon we've got time for comments and emails, or should we just move on and do them next week?
We have got a couple, but maybe we should wait till next week. But if you don't mind, there was one I wanted to read out.
Oh, go on then.
Because it was an Instagram DM, and it got put into our spam folder, and we didn't see it.
Well, it in our Instagram, we've got a message request folder, and I cannot access it. I have no idea what's going on with Instagram, but I click on the message requests, and it says we've got message requests. I click on it, and I get a blank page with just the spinning circle, and that happens for however long I wait. It doesn't matter how long I wait; it just never loads. So I can never see the message requests. So I have to get Andy to find the message requests. But obviously, he's been away, and so
and I check it once every marathon block. So apologies if you have DM'd us. But this is coming from Cameron Wilson, who just after we'd done Worcester wrote this. He said, "Hi both. Just listened to last week's episode, and you had to laugh about you mentioning the water cartons at Worcester. Do you remember them? Like the Ribena cartons, Myself and my partner Kate did the Worcester 10K with me pacing her to a new PB of 56:21. Very good, well done.
Awesome.
However, during the race at one of the water stations, we nearly had a falling out. There were loads of cartons all over the floor, and in the motion of being passed one by Kate, I must have missed the one in front of me on the floor. My size 12s went straight down on the carton, making it explode and sending all the contents all over her and the people in the crowd watching. In my opinion, the cartons are great, but when there is a lack of bins or empty sides for people to discard them, these sort of situations are going to happen. Is this something that has ever happened to you? Either soaking yourself or soaking another runner. Love the pod, Cameron. What a legend!
Brilliant. That's fantastic.
Comedy gold.
You could just picture it, can't you? Just absolutely exploded over everybody.
Mrs. was already in the pain cave. You know, she's probably sick of being told to come on, and then she gets soaked by a bottle.
Yeah. Brilliant. I don't think I've ever done that where I've trod on one and it's gone over people. I don't know. I've thrown bottles before and it's almost taken off somebody's nose as you're trying to throw them in the bin. I've thrown a bottle and it's almost taken someone out. So you apologise profusely.
Never stand near a bin. Never stand near a water station bin. You are asking for trouble if you do that. Yeah,
definitely. But I know people who have trod on bottles, cartons. At least they explode like it did with that one. Bottles, that they're once they've got the lid on, they're a bit like rocks and bricks, aren't they? So I know lots of people who have trod on bottles and twisted their ankle and all sorts.
Yeah, it happened to Freddie, didn't it? At one of his races.
Yeah.
Run, I think. Yeah.
And it happened to a guy called Graham from Redditch who got a a fracture in both of his bones in his lower leg, and had to be taken to hospital and put in plaster. So the bottles can be dangerous. Although, do you know what? Actually, I'm a big fan of the carton because they combine the good qualities of the two different receptacles for water in a race. So bottle is perfect for drinking and managing to get water on, so you're hydrating. Cups are terrible for taking on water, especially plastic cups. They're even worse. But cups, when they go on the floor, you tread on them and they're not going to cause any problems. So the carton is like the best of both worlds. You can actually drink from it and get hydrated, but it's not going to cause any problems if you stand on them. So maybe that is the way forward.
Well, this might put some people off Bruges, but Bruges had branded, you know what, like I mean by American beer pong cups, but
Yeah,
but they were solid. They weren't crushable.
Like the red or blue cups. Yeah.
But they were like Bruges branded ones, and you couldn't crush them. And they're obviously made to be reused and all that stuff, but they were just awful. So I'm just drinking my water. And even worse, I got to one of the water stations because I wasn't reading, what the bibs were wearing. I took one, went all over my face. It was blooming Gatorade or whatever it was. So I'd basically blinded myself,
And you were just a sticky mess for the rest of the race.
I was like, it wasn't even water, what that was. So yeah, that was an absolute joke. But apart from the bottles, it was a really good race. But no, that's never happened to me. But Cam, I massively appreciate that story. So thank you.
Fantastic, love it. Right, so we will leave the other comments and emails until next week. But we do have one thing that we need to do. I have kept up with it. Whilst you've been away. I don't know if you've noticed on our Instagram, I did post about it, but it is the Strava segment.
Caught me off guard then.
Yeah. So, as I say, last couple of weeks, Strava segments, I have put onto our Instagram. So if anybody is interested who were top of the leaderboards over the past couple of weeks, you can go and check that out on Instagram. But this week, last week, which ended on Sunday, our top 3 in our distance category, in first place was Craig Knowles with 80 miles on the nose. So awesome work, Craig. Second was William Fish with 74.7 miles. And third was Kyle Blacketer with 64.5 miles. So great work from all 3 of you. In our climbing, up at the top once again was Mark with a C.
Oh, he's back.
Yeah. So he has been top of the climbing for the last 3 weeks, I think now. So awesome. Second is Tom Richmond. With 7,280. Oh, I should have said Mark with a C did 9,610 foot of climbing. Tom Richmond did 7,280 foot. And in third was James Hillier with 5,151 foot.
Well, the clue's in the title with James, isn't it?
I know, yeah.
His runs are hillier and hillier.
Boom. Then, for our ladies' distance, in first place, and our top 2 ladies were actually in the top 10 overall this week, which is amazing. But in first place is somebody who has finally admitted that they are training for a marathon. And that is Chloe Hamard with 62.7 miles. In second was Rachel Watson with 60.5 miles. And in third place was Leanne Byard with 45.2 miles. And then in our ladies climbing, in first place was Ash Spedding with 3,625 foot. Second was Stephanie Parker with 2,221 foot. And third was Rachel Watson with 2,126 foot. So amazing work from everybody.
Look who's in 11th.
What, from last week?
97k.
I know. Miles the dog.
Miles the dog. We've got a dog in our Strava group. Yeah. This is amazing.
Yeah.
So Miles looks like he's from America, I think.
And if you look at Miles's profile, all of the photos are of Miles. There are no humans in any photos.
Best efforts 400, 114. Half a mile, 2:35. Fastest 3:13. Fastest 10 mile, 1:40. This is incredible. Miles did a progression with cool down yesterday, 11k. Easy run for Miles the day before. Brilliant. This is amazing. Yeah. Miles the dog. Please go and follow Miles the dog. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, the other thing I was going to say is we always do the top 3 with like men and women in the thing and climbing. Now, on our leaderboard, we can see the top 100. We've got at the moment, which is amazing. We've got 374 members at the moment, which is amazing. But we can see the top 100 on the leaderboard. So I was going to say, randomly, let's pick a number every week, and we can give a shout out to somebody on the leaderboard who isn't in the top 3
from last week.
Yeah. So pick a number
11?
randomly.
11?
Yeah, we have just done that with Miles the dog. But no, pick a random number between 1 to 100.
Well, shall I say, because of my half marathon, we'll go 89?
Oh, very good. So, shout out to Andrew Heppel, who ran 33.1 mile for the week and a total of 1,040 foot of climbing.
Awesome.
Awesome work, Andrew.
Yeah, quick look at Andrew's page. It looks like he's no stranger to cross country. He's got his green and white club vest on. I can't read what club he's in. But yeah, fair play, mate. Nice one.
I'm going to have a look to see if I recognise the club vest.
It's green and white. It's not Tipton.
Ooh.
Gosforth. Gosforth H&AC.
Yes, yeah.
Where's that? Down on the south coast somewhere? Gosforth. It's near Portsmouth, isn't it?
I'm not sure. I don't know. But
no,
yeah.
It's near Newcastle. Close.
Complete opposite end of the country.
Not far. My bad.
So good. So good. Anyway, yeah. That is about all we've got for this week, I think. Is there any other business for you?
Oh, can I just give a shout out to our old mate Freddie Runs, who's doing a challenge of 22k a day.
Yes.
For 22 days. So he's doing some really good fundraising. So go and have a look at his channel to see what he's up to. He's running 22 kilometers a day. And I wouldn't fancy that. That would be, I've done 5k a day.
Yeah.
And that's hard enough. So a half marathon a day for nearly a month. That's impressive.
Yeah, it's good work, isn't it?
Yeah. So all the best, mate. Doing really well so far. And
best of luck, man.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, I think that is about it. So thank you so much for listening or watching. However you do take in this podcast in your version, your what format of choice, of choice. Go and give us a subscribe on YouTube and what is it on podcasts? Is it follow on Spotify and Apple Podcasts?
Can you follow a podcast?
Yeah, because that's how they come up and you get the weekly feed of the podcasts. What is it? I don't know. Hang on. I'm going to have a look. This is terrible, isn't it?
I've got no idea, to be honest.
What's it called? So if I say I go to this one. Yeah, it's follow. Yeah, give us a follow on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or your podcast of podcast.
One more shout out we're going to do. I'll just stop you there, Brett, if you don't mind. It's getting late. AQ from Q on the Run.
Oh yes! What a run! What a run! Chester,
North Wales off the M56. I don't know what he did though, but it was fast.
He ran 2:46.
That's incredible. Course as well.
I think exactly it was 2:46.02, but forget the seconds. 2:46. Incredible. What a run.
And because of all the injuries he's had as well.
Yeah.
The Q on the Run, TQ has edited a masterpiece. That's a really good video, which I would recommend going and have it. And I saw their KQ's Shrewsbury one as well the other day, which I thought was equally brilliant. But yes, very well done to you, AQ, and best of luck to the Q boys. I don't know when they're off to Dublin, but I don't think it's this week. It's a week away yet, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So best of luck if we don't speak before. But
no, amazing work, AQ. That was incredible. Yeah. But yeah, we are done now. Yeah.
I think we're done. We are done.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Right. Thank you very much for listening or watching, and we will be back next week. So see you then.
Parkrun tomorrow for you?
Yes, for me. You're not though, are you? You've got work.
No, I've got work unfortunately, but I'll be doing something else tomorrow night.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. Cool. Cheers, guys.
See you later, everybody. Take it easy.